Good evening everyone, it's Viktor speaking from astrology.com, and I just wanted to make a video for you for two reasons. One of the reasons is because I wanted to say a massive thank you for all the love you guys have been giving me in the last 2 weeks since I joined Astrology. And the second reason is because I have received plenty of questions in regards to how to determine what type of characteristics of my future husband or wife are going to have. And I think this video might help you, to look into this question on your own as well. Obviously, if you wish, me to have a look at it for you, then you are more than welcome to contact me. Okay, so obviously most of the astrologers are gonna be having a look at the ruler of your 7th house cusp. 7th house is all about relationship. Okay, the placement of the ruler of your 7th house cusp can indicate what type of characteristics those person are going to have, or those people are going to have. Okay, let's say if you are divorced, please have a look at your 9th house ruler, because that's indicating your second marriage. If you have had already 2 marriages, then have a look at the ruler of the 11th house, and so forth. Hopefully we don't need to go further. Okay? However, in a female chart, in a female chart, Jupiter indicates your husband. So always have a look at the placement of Jupiter as well. That's going to give you additional information of your future husband. If you are a male, then you want to check the placement of Venus. Okay, the third technique I use is checking the 7th sign from the placement of the Jupiter in your chart. So let's say you've got Jupiter in your 1st house. Then in that case, the 7th sign is going to be the 7th house cusp. So you're going to combine all these 3 qualities together, and then you can quite get a clear picture about your future husband or wife. Gents, remember, if you are looking for your wife, you should be having a look at the placement of Venus. So this is what most of the astrologers do. However, I also look at 2 other things. One of them is the lot of Eros. Okay, with lot of Eros, or we can even call them part of Eros, we can even do some timing technique as well when that person comes into your life. Okay, it's a little bit more difficult calculations, so I'm not going to go through today with you. But the other technique I'm also using for this method is checking the asteroids of marriage, and the asteroid's called JUNO. Okay, all you need to know about JUNO is that JUNO was the wife of Jupiter. Okay, and the placement of JUNO in your chart can be can determine, the qualities of the person you are going to get married to. And JUNO can be used for both male and female chart as well. Okay, so let's see what JUNO placements can bring you. Okay, so JUNO either in the sign of Aries or 1st house, we're gonna speak about first. So when JUNO is in the 1st house or in the sign of Aries, independency is a key to the relationship. For both of you, it might be extremely important to make sure that the people are listening to each other, okay? And then you are not blocked, in your independency. Because Aries, quite a leader type of personality. Your partner might be an authority figure, might be, a CEO of a company, for instance, okay? He might be, or she might be somehow a leader of a group, but definitely they want to be somehow the leader of the organization they work for or they are in. Okay, probably when they are among their friends, most probably they are the fun ones. They are the ones who who lead in the team. Okay? Also, because first house is all about the body as well. You know, the body can have those Aries characteristics. So being sporty, being quite muscly when it comes to a man. When it comes to a female, you know, those nice shapes and so forth. But definitely for you, who is looking for your partner, look can be very important. Also, the way they approach you can be extremely important. You might have that motto going on in your head that, you know, the first impression is the key. So if you don't have that wow feeling when you meet them, then you might write them off. Okay? Also, when it comes to your partner, your partner might have some issue with migraine, for instance. Okay? But definitely we are talking about someone who is quite a strong character. You know, the negative side of Aries can be that they tend to be a little bit bossy, and also they can be quite aggressive as well sometimes. But also because Aries is ruled by the planet of Mars, and Mars is the planet of will, okay? There's the planet of enthusiasm, okay? There's the planet of desire and drive in them. So we're talking about someone who is extremely driven to reach their goals, okay? So let's check what's happening with Juno in the sign of Taurus or in the sign of the in the second house. Second house is all about security, loyalty. Even you know, we're talking about the self-esteem as well with this house. So I think when you've got Juno in the second house, it is extremely important for you to have that sense that your partner is actually caring, that person is you know, giving you enough compliments, so you can have that stronger self-esteem. Okay, this person definitely needs to be reliable as well. Second house is all about financials as well, resources, fixed assets. Okay, so this person should be able to value money. Actually, it can be an advantage if they have a good saving account as well, to be frank. But also, because Taurus is all about financial situation, this person might be actually working in the field of financials. If someone has got an extremely strong Taurus interest in their chart, alongside with Juno, then it can be someone who, for instance, is a winemaker. The person needs to be definitely faithful, definitely protective about you as well as their belongings. I do believe that you want a partner who is sharing your goals with you. So there should be that, you know, financial responsibility and also that sense of security aligned with the goals as well. Okay? When we are talking about Gemini or the third house, Gemini and the third house is all about communication. Okay? So I think when you've got Juno in your third house, you are actually craving for a partner who is helping you to express yourself. Gemini, because it's a, you know, it's a twin sign, okay? So actually maybe your lifetime partner is gonna be having you as your second marriage, for instance. Okay, or you might tend to get married more than once in your life, but it really depends on the whole chart. So we would need to have a look at that, you know, deeper. Gemini is quite a playful sign as well. So we're talking about a partner who loves having fun, you know, socializing, getting out there, having a bit of adventure. Third house is all about travelers as well, so someone who loves traveling, okay? Someone who but we're talking about short distance traveling. So one of the things which just popped into my mind was road trips, okay? And being spontaneous as well at the same time. So you just pack your bag, let's jump on the motorbike or in the car, and then let's discover the world. And also, third house is all about education as well. So you definitely want someone who is educated, who you can have extremely good conversations. Okay, when we're talking about Juno in the sign of Cancer or in the 4th house, then Juno becomes a very homey type of person, okay? The home environment is going to be extremely important. Your partner, you know, your partner actually can have already children from a previous marriage, for instance. But definitely you want someone you would be able to introduce your partner to your parents. Because when you've got a very strong 4th house, definitely the family is gonna get extremely important for you. Or if not the family, then the religion you coming from or the roots you coming from. Also, 4th house is ruled by the planet of Moon. So Moon is quite a it's the planet of mood, okay? So you definitely want a partner who can handle your mood fluctuation as well. And also, Moon can be the planet of intimacy as well, okay? So you do want, to cuddle up, for instance, in the evening, watching telly together, cooking together, having nice wine or dinner together, and so on. The negative traits of this Juno is that the person might have been married before and might be having children from the previous marriage as well. And also because this sign is ruled by Moon, the person can be a little bit manipulative as well. Okay? These are... And where can you meet this person? You can actually meet this person at home. It can be introduced to you by your parents, for instance. Or it can be... you can meet this person, for instance, in someone else's home who is quite close to you. Or just someone who is actually living around you. While with Gemini, it can be actually a neighbor, but you can be meeting the person, for instance, near any type of schools, okay? But with Cancer, we're talking about a lot closer to your home. And the person might be actually from the same town as well, just you are. Okay, when it comes to Leo and 5th house, to be honest, I do like this because Leo is all about flirt, okay? It's all about romance, it's all about excitement. So you definitely need a partner who pre-ambitious. We're talking about Leo, so definitely someone who is a very good leader. Okay, this is the sign where I can imagine, the most that the person is going to be, let's say, a CEO or somewhere in top management. But also, because 5th house is all about your own business as well, actually this person might have their own business, okay? 5th house is all about children as well. So we're talking about a husband or a wife who is children orientated. Definitely the person wants to have their own kids as well. And also Leo is the sign of pride. So your partner, you want a partner you can be extremely proud of because of their achievements. And Leo loves being in the limelight as well. Okay, so definitely someone we're talking about who, enjoys other people's company. Okay, let's see what would happen in the sign of Virgo or in the 6th house. Virgo has got extremely high expectations, okay? especially with themselves. So if your partner has got Juno in the 6th house, we're definitely talking about someone who is looking after their body, for instance. They can be personal trainers, they can be dietitians, they can be sportsmen. Especially sportsmen when we've got a bit of Saturn and Mars alignment somewhere in the chart, either an opposition or even conjunction. Okay, because that gives the person so much energy to do something in the long run. Okay, they become extremely persistent. And the person might be actually a vegetarian. The negative traits of that person might be that they tend to be critical. Okay, Virgo is the sign of being able to be scrutinizing. Okay, so they want to get into the nitty-gritty bits of things. Also, another, I think, positive sign is the hygiene. Okay, so we're talking about someone who is extremely looking after themselves, or they want their home environment to be clean. I'll give you an example. I had a partner, and it was quite interesting because if I put something on the table that was not the right place, it had to be extremely sharp. I don't know, it had to be on the edge of the table, not all over the place. Yes, so some of those traits. It can be sometimes a little bit frustrating, depending on what your chart looks like. But I do love it though. We're definitely talking about someone who is efficient and orientated. Okay, work is everything for them, really. Daily routines is everything for them. So we're talking about a person who has got, let's say, a diary in their bags. If you see someone in the street walking with a diary, make sure you get them if you've got Juno in your 6th house. Where can you meet the person? You might be meeting this person, in health industry, maybe at the gym, or maybe at your GP. Maybe the person can be your personal trainer. Okay? Great. They can be nurse as well, for instance. So something to do with healthcare, something to do with... they can be dietitians, for instance, as well. Let's have a look what's happening in the sign of Libra or in 7th house. Libra and 7th house is all about balance. Okay, so I do believe when we've got Juno in the 7th house, they do need to have that sense of being able to balance their life efficiently with the needs of the partner as well. In my experience, plenty of celebrities have got their Juno, for instance, in the 7th house. Why? Because usually the partner helps in a way for you to get into the limelight, okay? And secondly, because yourself, you are in the limelight as well as a celebrity. So obviously you're gonna attract, most probably you're gonna attract people, from the limelight as well. You need a partner who helps you make decisions. Someone who might be sometimes rational, and the decision might be made on both sides of the scale, emotional plus rational at the same time. Because Libra is ruled by Venus, definitely the person has to have good manners. They need to kind of know the etiquette, for instance. And Venus is the planet of beauty as well, so they should be quite attractive as well. Okay? However, when the relationship goes out of tune a little bit, there can be competition between the partners. Okay, so when there is a bit of competition going on, you might wanna watch out a little bit. Okay, also 7th house is all about legal matters as well. Okay, so the person might be actually a solicitor or maybe a judge. Okay, But because 7th house also talks about business matters, you know, you might meet this person at a business venture, for instance, or you might be making somehow an alliance with this person and then become a relationship later on. Great! Let's have a look at the sign of Scorpio, or 8th house. 8th house is all about intimacy, okay? We're talking about intense feeling. So your marriage partner might be having extremely strong inner feelings. Sometimes they tend to pull up a wall as well, and then you might not be able to see that. So you really need to, you know, look into the person's gut deep. Okay, they tend to be sometimes quite jealous as well, which is okay, because I think jealousy shows a bit of love as well. But Scorpio is also the sign of being able to be possessive. Okay, so obviously when it turns a little bit around, then you know it can be frustrating. 8th house is also the house of sorry, trust and power. Okay, so there can be sometimes a bit of power struggle between the couple. How I would imagine is that, you know, we've got, let's say, two CEO, you know, being together. And I believe both of them want to get the best out of the other one, but somehow they are sometimes clashing. Okay? As I said, 8th house is all about intimacy as well. So definitely we're talking about someone who enjoys making love, you know, and even some type of special places as well. Okay? You can actually meet the person around the sex shop, for instance. Or you can meet the person even at funeral, because 8th house rules death and life as well. Okay, but you can meet the person, for instance, at the bank, because 8th house rules other people's money. Okay, so definitely the person actually can be working in a bank, can be a financial advisor, really depending on the, you know, of the placement of the 8th house, if there is any other planet in there, and so on. Okay, let's see the sign of Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius is an extremely intellectual sign. So your future partner definitely have to be able to stimulate you intellectually as well. Okay, they have to be able to share their beliefs with you, or they might need to have the same beliefs like yourself. Okay, the person needs to be well educated for sure. You can actually meet this person at the university. Maybe it can be someone you know, you might have studied together. This person actually can be a solicitor, a judge, lawyer, but any type of teacher or professor as well. Definitely, in a way, if your 9th house is prominent, you are somehow a mentor. Okay, and also 9th house rules foreign countries as well. So this person might be coming from a different country. Okay, where can you meet this person? So as I mentioned, you can meet this person near university, or you might be meeting the person at court. You might be meeting this person near church. And also because 9th house rules the second marriage of yours. So the partner you can be with, you might be the second marriage for the person. Okay, let's have a look what's happening in the sign of Capricorn. Or in the 10th house. When JUNO is placed there, actually your partner can help you with your social status. Okay, when JUNO is in the 10th house, definitely marriage is extremely important for you. exactly the same with the sign of Aries as well. Aries does love, Aries, Juno does want to have marriage, because the first house is all about you as well, right? Capricorn is quite a traditional sign, okay? So they definitely want a marriage where actually the ceremonies, for instance, are based on traditions. Definitely they want a partner who is extremely committed, loyal, dedicated. Because we are talking about 10th house, the social state has become quite important as well. Okay, so we are talking about, again, quite a leader type of personality here. And actually your partner can be older as well than yourself. So we always talk about an age gap here. Okay, and Capricorn, Juno can also indicate that you might get married later on in your life. Great. Where can you meet this person? You can meet this person, for instance, at workplace. Or you can even meet this person near old architectures. Okay? Let's have a look what happens with Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius sun, and actually I've got Juno in the sign of Aquarius conjuncting my sun, and also my Juno in the 12th house, so, and everything I'm gonna tell you is fully true about myself. So, Aquarius tends to strive for freedom, okay? They are the type of characteristics who does not really want to get married for a reason. I mean, for some reason. Because Aquarius tends to be extremely unconventional. So they don't like rules. However, I do believe Aquarius does like tradition though. Because in ancient astrology, Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. In modern astrology, it's ruled by Uranus. So when we combine these two energies, I feel like with Aquarius there is always a push and pull energy going on. Okay? So as I said, they are single type, and they tend to enjoy friends with benefits. Okay? They are quite eccentric. So your partner might be quite eccentric, quite spontaneous, okay? And where can you meet this person? You can actually meet this person at a party. Or maybe the person gets introduced to you by your friends, or somehow in your social circle, okay? And also when they get married, and then after marriage, they seem to be the best friends. They are able to talk to each other about anything, but sometimes they might leave the door open as well. Okay, so they welcome other people into their home. And let's see what's happening with Pisces, Juno. So as I said, I've got Juno in the sign of Pisces, so I pretty much resonate with this quite a lot. Definitely your marriage partner can be extremely emotional. Okay, in modern astrology, Pisces is ruled by the planet of Neptune. And Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. Okay, so we're talking about divine love here. So the person might be actually a believer in God. Okay, 12th house is all about charities as well. So we might be talking about someone who works in a charity or works for a charity. Sorry. But the person might be just a charitable individual. Where can you meet this person? You can meet this person at concerts. As I said, Venus is the higher octave of, Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, okay? And Neptune does love music. Okay, so you can meet this person at a concert, or even theatre. You can actually meet the person on a holiday, for instance. And let's not mention the prison part. Let's not mention the mental health department and hospitals and so forth. Let's just go with the rest of them, okay? The negative side of this Pisces is that they tend to have extremely strong ideas about their marriage partner, and maybe they are not lowering their standards enough, okay? I'm not saying that Pisces have got those very strong standards, and I'm also not saying that they don't have any, but they tend to having those ideals about, you know, relationship, that they might miss opportunities, because remember, it's a sign ruled by in modern astrology by Neptune, and that's the planet of fog, okay? That's the planet of mystery. So you might miss some opportunities when it comes to marriage. Okay, and also the person might be extremely spiritual as well. So the person might be into meditation or regression, for instance, family constellation, and so on. If the marriage happens, it usually happens later in life again, okay? Because these type of people need to come out of their shell. And I also believe that when they meet their marriage partner, it's a karmic relationship. So we're talking about an extremely strong bond, and the people might feel connected, quite quick, and they feel it extremely strong. I think Juno is an extremely powerful asteroid. This was the third asteroid discovered. I think it was in 1800, around that era. Okay, and since I have been using her, you know, when I read charts, it completely changed the way I look at a chart. So I really want to urge you to have a look yourself as well. Thank you very much for having me, and I hope to see you again. And have a good Valentine's Day as well. Bye bye.